Utah's sports scene has never been hotter, and at the center of it all is SCG and Ryan Smith. He joined Hans Scotty on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone on Friday afternoon for a 40-minute conversation. Everything from the Jazz to NHL hockey to BYU hoops. You can listen to the entire interview on KSLSports.com. Let's begin with the Utah Jazz, a team desperate to improve, desperate to be relevant again in the NBA. They have several different ways to improve. Free agency, draft assets, the draft itself. So which avenue will the Jazz take to improve their fortune? Maybe all of them. Will they speed up the rebuild or continue the slow burn? Well, Ryan made it clear that he will support Danny Ainge in his plans and not get in the way and get involved in personnel decisions.
You know, you really don't bring Danny Ainge in and not let Danny Ainge do Danny Ainge things. So I'm involved in all of the details around the team, but when it comes to basketball personnel and how we do it, I mean, I have my desire. You know, I'm a competitive guy. I want to win, and I want to win now and want to win always, and want to, you know, have that goal for our franchise to be able to do something we haven't done, which is win a championship. It's really, really important to me, and I'm going to be doing this for 30 years.
This is the game we live and breathe. This is where high hopes meet great heights. This is mountain basketball, and we wear it proudly.
I don't know. Mountain basketball looks pretty darn good.
I like the black one. I like the white one. They look pretty sharp.
I do too. You know, 2 years ago, we received this press release from the Utah Jazz with the big bold headline, "Purple is back." Then they unveiled black, yellow uniform scheme that just one city edition purple uniform.
Just throw them in the garbage. Okay. Yeah. That rebrand went over pretty poorly, at least in my opinion. But this week, purple really is back for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, on Wednesday, the Jazz unveiled this purple, white, and black combo that includes both the mountain theme as well as the classic J note. These uniforms will be put to use already this upcoming season. However, there will be a bit of a transition. The Jazz will still wear the white and black uniforms from last season, and then those black and yellows will go away by the end of the year. The new year, they'll give way for those new black uniforms with the J note and the mountain backdrop. And then, of course, next season, there's going to be a new city edition added to the white and purple and black uniforms as well. Jazz owner Ryan Smith joined Hans and Scotty on the KSL Sports Zone. He said getting this rebrand done hasn't been all that easy.
The Jazz brand's definitely a trickier one than probably many in the NBA. You know, if you look at Boston or Chicago or San Antonio, these are very different than coming from New Orleans, having a name, the Jazz. I'll never forget my first preseason games. One of the GMs from the Pelicans came up and said, "Hey, can we have that name back?" I was like, I didn't know what to say. Trying to find something that we authentically own in Utah. Mountain basketball is just it. It's what we are. There's beach basketball. You go to LA, Miami, like we authentically can own mountain basketball. I think it's a box that we can color in for a long, long time. And we're excited about that. The purple is something that's tricky, but, you know, it's what a lot of people want. They know us as, and the purple in the mountains makes it better. I think the blue coming back also provides a lot of nostalgia for a lot of people in that D-Will Boozer era. So I thought the team did an incredibly good job at rolling that out and, you know, kind of touched all the different pockets or genres of our fan base, because they aren't just one fan base. They're very different genres of folks when they think of the Jazz.
The excitement surrounding BYU basketball right now and the moves that have been made have been possible in part to the contributions from BYU alum Ryan Smith. He was asked about that during his appearance on Hans and Scotty Friday. He challenged alumni of other schools in the state to do the same thing he's doing.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of questions on how involved I get. I mean, also I think there's probably a lot of misconceptions around, you know, why I'm involved. You know, as I kind of go through my childhood, you know, I grew up kind of roaming those halls of BYU and being there. And the more I've gotten older, the more I've realized that as life happened, you know, my parents split up. I think my dad took a year off to kind of be with us kids because we were at a different phase of life, and it was a very critical one. And BYU kind of supported him through that. And, you know, you fast forward, you know, 10 years after that, and my dad gets stage 4 throat cancer, And BYU supports them all the way through that, include kind of working from home, resting, keeping everything there. And, you know, we end up starting Qualtrics together. So me supporting BYU is very, very not about sports. It's about, you know, they supported my family when we were going through our craziest times, like probably no employer I've ever seen. And it would be really weird for me to be in the spot I'm in and not support them.
A lot of sports topics in town these days. What will the name be for Utah's NHL team? We want to know. The list was narrowed from the 20 nominees down to 6, which fans can now vote on.
Yeah, Ryan Smith, he was aggressive in his pursuit of an NHL franchise. And now that it's here, Smith Entertainment is moving forward with the challenge of getting this brand done and done right. He talked about it on Friday with Hans and Scotty on the KSL Sports Zone.
Look, I've done some gnarly stuff in my career professionally, and like this is about as aggressive and crazy as anything that has come across my plate. And I think you mentioned Chris and Jim and the team. They're just doing a Herculean effort right now. Is everyone coming together and saying, hey, what can we do? We know these opportunities don't come along. I know there's 3 other cities right now who are begging for a hockey team. And these are big cities. These are basketball markets. And they chose Utah. And so the answer is you just all join together as a community and you just try to get it done and the best you can, knowing that it's not going to be perfect. We don't want it to be perfect. We actually want it to be authentic, and we're building a community around hockey. You know, you don't get to start a brand from scratch very often. This is a community asset, and if you think about the prior conversation about people coming in and wanting to be a part of it, they're voting on it. It's not about Ryan Smith or my family or our ownership group as much as it truly is about the community. And so we want the community to be able to take part in naming it. You know, we're not going to run design by 500,000 people because that would be a disaster. But like, I think it's really working as far as the outreach and getting people invested and wanting to provide ideas. And, you know, we've come up with 6 names and it's amazing.
You know, there's still some doubters in the NHL world, those who don't think Utah and Ryan Smith are capable of pulling this off so quickly, including some in the NHL media. In his Stanley Cup Finals media availability yesterday, Commissioner Gary Bettman was asked about the ticket sales that just began for an arena with several thousand obstructed view seats. Bettman quickly informed the reporter that within 2 years, the seating situation, it would be fixed, and that the progress here in Utah is going better than they expected.
Initial ticket sales, which I think is 24 hours old, have been, to say the least, extraordinarily robust. And we're excited about everything that Ryan and his organization are doing to welcome the players and welcome NHL hockey and to introduce it into Utah. I think things are going even better than we could have hoped based on the short time frame that they've had to work with, because they've literally, since the announcement, which hasn't been that long ago, and as you all know, this didn't come about over a long period of time, they're literally drinking from a fire hose, and they're doing it unbelievably well.